Hello, beautiful one. Hello, hello. So, a lot of you are experiencing expansion. Many of you are experiencing expansion. And some may find this video and they may be entering into that space, right? So, you maybe have been doing things a certain way for a very long time, and you're just starting to feel like those things don't fit you anymore. They're not who you are. Maybe it's the work you do, maybe it's the relationships you hold, maybe it's your hobbies, maybe it's your addictions, maybe, it could be anything, right? It could be all of that, yes? When we're entering into a space of expansion, which we always are given the opportunity to do this, okay? Every single human is given the opportunity to continue to expand its being, because you are beyond this now. And this now is important, and this now is precious, and this now is designed and aligned to give you exactly the right opportunities and experiences and spaces for you to go into the next space of you. And you are eternal, so you are constantly moving into the next space of you, whether you are doing it within a lifeline, a lifetime, a soul experience, or whether you are doing it in the space between before you move into the next soul experience or lifetime of you, and you become something else, someone else, somewhere else, and you learn from that space of yourself as well. It doesn't matter where you are in this now human lifetime experience as to where your expansion space is, whether you are entering into understanding things need to change, I can't keep being the way I've been being, or whether you're in the middle and you already made that decision and you're having all of these glorious opportunities, I call them, yes? Experiences coming in that say, all right, you want to change, you want to level up, you want to move into the next space of your consciousness. Well, here's an experience to allow you to do that, yes? Or whether you're already in a space where those experiences of opportunity of level up, they aren't coming in at the same amount or volume because you've leveled up and you are now anchoring your space of your consciousness. And so you'll anchor for a while, and then you will decide to stretch yourself again, if you will, yes, and move into the next space of you. But the thing that I want to convey here today is I want to give you a couple tools and tips and understandings that helped me a lot, and let you know that even though you are ever expanding, right, you are eternal. So even though you are always moving into the next space of you, as you do that, as you become more conscious, more aware of who you really are as an eternal being of light, having a human experience in this now line of you, the more awareness you have of who you are, the more awareness you have of yourself, of your experiential spaces being an opportunity, then the more you begin to live in a state of flow. You stop feeling as if you're fighting with your life. You stop feeling as if you're fighting with your world around you. And you start realizing that that is just something you are, if you will, being aware of, directing, aligning, designing, creating, and you own your power more and more and more and more. So no matter where you are in this, your body knows exactly what to do, is the first tip I want to give you. Your body knows exactly what to do. And when you're first coming into this awareness of yourself, most of the time you are sick in some way. You have some ailment, some hurt, some issue in the body, physically. Maybe you have something mentally, emotionally. Maybe you have anxiety. Maybe you have depression. Maybe you have, joint issue, or tummy problems. Maybe you have some genetic disorder, disease. Because you have been trying to get your attention for a very long time, and you have not been able to hear yourself, So your body is the last space of notification. And when the body begins to notify us of things, being wrong, being off, dis-ease, yes, disease, dis-ease, stress, judgment, shame, guilt, denial. When the body begins to tell us of these things, it is an opportunity for us to hear ourselves when we first get the notice, when we first get the alarm clock going off via whatever's going on in our body. But most people don't get the notice the first time. Most people don't listen. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I'm not trying to inflict guilt or shame here. I'm trying to give you a light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. Most people hit the snooze button. Most people band-aid the space up with substance, with activities that just numb out the spaces or you, so that you can continue to walk in the opposite direction of your heart and your soul, because that's why this happens. It happens because we're out of alignment of our truth, and we're trying to get our own attention and bring ourselves back into alignment. And so this is a very important understanding to gain. And it could be a video in itself, so maybe I will make one about that as well, because it's a very, very empowering space to anchor. When you understand this and you really begin to live from these knowings, you heal yourself on all levels of you, because you can finally get the notification. But when you're first entering into this journey, most of the time you come in with things wrong, things off, things sick. And as you begin to, this is my other tip and tool here, people, as you begin to embrace healing, your consciousness, your awareness, your emotions, your body, your being, your energy, really allow yourself to see all spaces of you. Because a lot of people jump in, and I'm not saying that this doesn't work, but I want all those who it doesn't work for to know there's nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. And to allow yourself compassion and understanding, because many times it takes you allowing some space for the physical body healing to catch up completely through nurture, many times through medicine. I prefer holistic as much as possible, but I do condone, I do stand behind general medicine as well. In certain situations, it's critical until the being, the human being, has healed enough to move away from medication and so forth. But I never tell anybody to take it out. I have a written thing on everything I put out there, because I want people to understand miracles happen in this work. Miracles happen in this world every single day. But I never want anyone to feel as if they turn their back on care and guidance being given by a professional who they may need to consider tapering off certain things as they understand themselves to be healed. I went through a space where I had medical spaces I needed assistance with my doctor. This was back in probably about, I don't know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I don't know. I can't even remember. Isn't that beautiful? That is so beautiful. So at that space of me, I needed medical help, but I had a very good doctor. And he said to me, I can give you something to numb this. Just like if you sat on a tack, I could give you something to numb it and you wouldn't really know it was there all the time. And then he said, but if you can find the tack and pull it out, it will heal completely. And you will not have to continue to numb yourself. So what I am conveying here is it's a process, it's a journey. And for some it's quick and miraculous and almost simplistic. And for some it's another space of their expansion, for the way you trust yourself, hold compassion for yourself, listen to yourself, and nurture yourself as you heal. But you can do it. I did it. Many I work with have done it. Many I work with are doing it. They're in the process as well. So here's my little go-to visual for you that assists many. And that is, if you ran your car into a wall, very slow mileage, you're pulling out of a garage or something, and you run your car into the wall a bit, enough to damage it, right? You can say, oh, that wasn't the best idea for me to drive like that and to hit the wall like that. And you can see you've damaged your car. You can see it in the physical sense, yes, you've damaged your car. Now, just because you decide to stop driving that way and be aware of what you did do, does that mean that the car damage just disappears? Or do you need to take it to the body shop and allow the professional to assist in repairing, yes, the car? And then you don't run it into the walls anymore, but everything's good, yes? Some of you need to understand that, because you're being very hard on yourselves. And part of your journey of awareness, part of your understanding of who you are, is allowing that help and that assistance as you do the inner work, to allow the physical body, the emotions, the mental, to receive the assistance they need as you do the inner work that will heal the energy, the consciousness, so that you will begin to see and eventually live free of that outer assistance. But until you get to that point, allow and trust yourselves and don't judge yourselves. I've had people say to me, I found your work and I'm so happy because it really helps me sleep, it really helps me relax, it really helps me feel like I'm safe, feel like I'm loved, feel like I'm home. And then they say, but I struggle with this and I struggle with that. And they feel so guilty because they may need assistance from, some people do CBD oil, some people do other forms of that, yes? For peace, for relaxation, for sleep, for anxiety. And there's other things I've had people tell me that they need, yes? Medicine-wise and so forth. And they don't want to need it. And it makes them upset that they need it. But I try to convey this to them the way that I've conveyed it here to you. And whoever needs to hear this, please know that you've done nothing wrong. You are waking up to who you are. You are hearing your being. And if you can drop the judgment and the guilt and the shame, and you can lean into, I am waking up. I am in a new space of understanding myself. And you can offer yourself as much as possible natural, holistic ways of healing. And when needed, of course, medicative, spaces, of course. But if you can allow that space for your car to be fixed, so now you know how to not hit the wall anymore, or you're learning how not to hit the wall anymore, right? Many are learning how not to hit the wall anymore. And if you can allow that space of nurture and compassion and love and healing, therapy, for your body to catch up, your emotions to catch up, your mind to catch up, whatever it is for you, That is self-love. And you are worthy of that self-love. This turned a little bit more into this space than other spaces, but I always trust my inner knowing for what is created and what is released and when it is released. So this will find who it is meant to find. But you are so loved, Divine One. You are so loved. If you knew how loved you were, you would very most likely have an immense miracle of healing in all spaces of you, because love is such a powerful, ultimate, connective space of the divine. And any lack of love you feel, any separation you feel, is a distortion. It's an illusion. It's not your truth. And you are here in this now, in this, even this very space of connection with this video, to remember how loved you are. Any pain, any suffering, any hurt, any trauma is you asking you to allow you to heal. It's you asking you to allow it to go. Allow yourself to move on to the next space of you. That's another thing that people are doing that they don't realize they're doing. By claiming these spaces of ailment or disease or physicality or emotional issues, by claiming them and saying, I am a whatever you say you are, you know, I'm a claustrophobic person. That's an easy one, right? I mean, not an easy one, but I mean, it's not as big as some of the others, maybe. You could say, I have, and you could name any disease or health issue. And when you do that, and you continue to talk like that about yourself, you are hitting the wall again and again and again, and you are making the repairs that need to be done innumerable. But the miracle lies in the minute you decide to add in. I'm not telling you have to stop completely day one, talking this way about yourself, speaking this way about yourself, thinking this way about yourself, living and being this part of yourself. But if you could just add in some balance, maybe, and you could start saying the other things that you are as well, like, I am surrounded by love, I am surrounded by higher dimensional beings of light, because they're there. You just vibrationally, many of you cannot pick up on them because you are vibrationally aligning yourself with these denser spaces of you. When you stop claiming them, when you stop speaking as if that is all you are, because you are more. When you stop limiting your being, you will experience the limitlessness of your being. So if you could offer yourself anything, I would say just add in another phrase until you're ready to drop the one you've been saying on its own all along. Maybe just add in another. Let the other one drop naturally. Don't be hard on yourself when you say it or do it or realize you're thinking that way or being that way. Just add in some balance. Let the balance bring healing. Add in, I am surrounded by holy light. I am surrounded by healing light. I am surrounding my higher dimensional beings. I am a higher dimensional being in human form. I am remembering who I am. I am rising in my wholeness. I am eternal. I am eternal. And think about that. Envision it. Imagine it. If you're eternal, this is not your eternity. This is a space of you. And as long as you stare at it, you will remain in the space. All I'm asking you to do is bring in a little balance so that you can begin to move into the next space of you. All right. I love you, I love you, I love you. And I'm so grateful to be in this space with you. You are powerful and beautiful and sovereign. And all that you are experiencing, no matter where you are in your journey, no matter whether you are feeling as if you are underneath all that I was speaking of there, or whether you're on the middle space of really implementing your higher knowing and allowing it to heal those past spaces of densities, or whether you've already done that and you are soaring into the next space of you. No matter where you are not too early. You are not too late. You are not too late. You are right on time. Trust that. Trust that. Trust you. Trust your team of light. Trust your higher self. Trust your ancestors. Trust your source space. Whatever your quantum spiritual connections are, whatever that is for you. For some of you, it's Jesus. For some of you, it's your galactic family of light. For some of you, it's source. For some of you, it's God. For some of you, it's a goddess, or you as the goddess. Whatever that is for you, lean in and allow you. Don't separate yourself. Don't judge, don't condemn. Bring yourself balance. Look at the good spaces of you. I have one student, she's a master teacher right now, and she said something really powerful in a class this weekend. I was holding my abundance workshop, and she said, whenever anyone has a moment where they can't seem to find something to be grateful for, or it's just a hard moment, take a second and just take a nice deep breath and think to yourself, I am grateful for oxygen. I am grateful I can breathe. Every one of us can do that. And even that moment, that space, brings in some balance, some gratitude, some refocusing. Yes? No matter where you are in this, remember you are designing and aligning it all. Nothing is being done to you. You are not being tested by God or anything else. It's your energy, it's your sovereignty, it's your design. And then the more focus you give to what you're designing, the more you will see it aligning in your life. Bring some balance in and watch everything shift. Unending blessings upon you, Holy One. Unending.